Howdy, my name is Mackenzie Franklin from SideGame LLC here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And today we're going to do one of our side conversations. This is where we talk about a topic about board gaming or the hobby in general or gaming in general and discuss it. So the comment section is open to discuss and let me know what you think. So today's topic is about redos, or as we coined them, Takesies, Backsies. So this is when you're playing a game and somebody makes a move, they do something, and it gets to the next player's turn or a little bit down the line, and they've realized that they wanted to do something else. So they interrupt the game screeches to a halt, they go back to their turn, they fix something, maybe they have to undo some part of somebody else's turn, they reset it, they do the move that they wanted to do, and then they're happier with what they chose. So this is, in my opinion, it's pretty annoying. Once again, that halting of the game, it really disrupts the flow. It could potentially ruin what somebody else did on their turn. It could also potentially, maybe they got some knowledge from what some other people did, and they're like, oh, now that I know that person has done that, I want to change what I did. And that can leave a bit of a sour taste for everybody involved. So this is something that I generally frown upon, but there are a couple of exceptions as to when I think that this is okay to do, particularly in, you'll see. So my first case is, it's okay to do this when it's a very minor thing. So say you forgot to use a bonus on a card that you have. It says, oh, every time you buy a card, you get a coin, or you get a point, or something like that. Go for it. Not a big deal. You forgot to trigger your effect. It doesn't alter the game state. You didn't play off anybody's moves that they did. It didn't affect anybody really. So go for it, get your coin, get your bonus, get your move up on the track, whatever. That's fine. Not a big deal. The second time I think it's fine is if you are doing this and you're learning the game. You do something that clearly wasn't a good play and you should have known that, but you're learning the game and you're like, oh my gosh, I've ruined my whole game if this happens. That's okay. Everybody's learning. Everybody is taking their time here. It can get annoying if you keep doing it repetitively or if you're using it to particularly leverage a strategy. But I think it's acceptable if it's your first time at a heavy strategic game. You're there to have fun. You're there to enjoy the game itself. It's not make or break if you take back something in order to get a better grasp of the game and actually enjoy it this first playthrough. The last time it's okay is if it's agreed upon with the group. Now, in my gaming group, generally we do what's called Takesies, Backsies cards. So I have these little cards that I give to each person. Obviously, with COVID, we don't do this right now, but you give the cards to each person, and this is your Takesies, Backsies for the night. When you use it, that's it. That's the only one you get. So you better use it at a good time, and maybe it's worth holding on to your Takesies, Backsies card. That way, if you really need it for a really key play, then that's the time you cash it in. So I really like the idea of tokenizing Takesies, Backsies, the move of taking your play back, because everybody has that power. It's kind of a meta thing. It speeds the games along in general for most things, because you're never going to have that real big Takesies, Backsies. And of course there are some restrictions on this. You can't take back a turn that was like forever ago. But I think it's really cool to kind of quantify the idea of taking something back. So I enjoy that. Now sometimes it can have a side effect that people are going to overthink their turn in order to get the best play possible, because they don't want to ever use that Takesies, Backsies. But I think also having it makes it a little more forgiving, that you have that option to get a redo just in case. So it's both ways. Some people can play into it a little harder than the others, but overall I think that quantifying it is pretty fun. What do you think? What are your ideas on taking back moves in games? Honestly, I'm playing for more of the experience and the fun of the game itself, but a lot of that experience and fun can come from making plays based on anticipating what your opponents are going to do, or random elements, particularly in cooperative games, that's huge, or competitive games with like war or combat or hidden information. Taking back things can almost be impossible at some points once you reveal a card that no one knew what it was, or a secret. So I think in some cases it's never okay to do a Takesies, Backsies. particularly when random or hidden information is revealed. There is the game Mage Knight. If you've played that, they actually have a rule in Mage Knight that I have used in a lot of my games and a lot of my rules in general for a great idea on how to approach taking things back and getting redos. Mage Knight says that whenever you play something, you can play whatever you want and you can always take it back. But as soon as you do something random, an element that you did not have the information of before, like drawing a card or rolling a die or re-rolling something or getting information you didn't know or revealing a token, then you are committed from that point on. You can't take it back. And I love that. I think that is the best way to approach it, because as soon as you get that information, you have knowledge now. You have that information. You can now make an informed decision if you went back knowing that you had that card. And I think that's part of the fun of gaming, is playing into that random element and planning for something and knowing that, okay, I can do this is fine, then I flip the card and I got to deal with the consequences. So I like that permanence that is created when you commit to that random chance element. So that is my favorite thing ever. I think that's so good. Nothing has changed the game state. I think that's the perfect time to take back something. I think that's great. So that's my kind of philosophy on it. There's a couple of times when it's okay. I like the idea of having a token for Takesies, Backsies in general. And I like the idea of being able to really plan and take things back as long as no random elements or things had happened in that turn. And what do you think? What are your opinions on Takesies, Backsies? How do you handle it with your group? Let me know. Leave a comment below if you'd like. I hope you have a great rest of your day. SideGame strong.